Hey guys, George at SoundTraxx here. This week we want to bring you a little bit of the behind the scenes stuff that we have available for you so that you can help learn more about your SoundTraxx Tsunami 2 decoders. Now, first off, if you go to our website at SoundTraxx.com, you can take a look under the support tab where you'll see a link to manuals. And this is where you're going to go find all of the user's guides that will help walk you through the process of all the things you need to do with the Tsunami. Now, first off, you'll see the installation guide. Now, the installation guide covers installation techniques and processes of all the things you'll need to do and keep in mind when you're installing a decoder. It also has complete wiring diagrams for every single board format that we offer here at SoundTraxx in our Tsunami 2 and Econami product lines. So you can quickly grab that manual and you can use that guide to help guide you through the installation process. Now, next up is our user's guides. Now, in the Tsunami 2, we have our user's guide, and this is going to be for steam, diesel, and electric locomotives. Each one has their own individual user's guide that you can use so that way you can get the specific details needed out of the specific locomotives. Now, I'm going to recommend the user's guide because there are a few things I want to point out that are really going to be helpful for you when it comes to the user's guide. Now, first up is this page in the first section talking about using the Tsunami 2. Now, in this section, you will see a list of all the references that will explain to you what each of the sound effects are, how they work, and why you want to use them. There's also a default list of function mapping. So you'll see the default out of the package function mapping so you'll know which buttons control which sound effects or lighting effects right out of the package. And then there's an explanation of what each of those effects does. Now, the next section talks about programming the decoder and setting up the CVs. There's a brief CV tutorial including how to access CVs that are indexed or CV 1 dot or 2 dot CVs. But also in this tutorial, there is a discussion about setting up the decoder using CV29. Now, CV29 sets the fundamental aspect of how the decoder operates right out of the package, including which type of address is active, how many speed step mode you're using, and so forth. Now, in the user's guide, you'll see a full page explanation of CV29 and how it works, but you'll also find this handy chart that will actually show you each of the CV values and what those values mean. So what you'll do is you'll start at the left of the page, and the first question will be which address type you're going to use, long or short. Well, when you decide that, then you can eliminate half of the chart and move to the next question. And then when you have that, you can move your way across till the final question will determine your final CV value. So be sure to check that out in the user's guide. Next up is this handy section on talking about the lighting outputs. Now, one of the cool things about this section in the lighting outputs is it talks about which CVs are relevant, and then it shows you what each of the different lighting effects are. There's even a verbal explanation as far as what the lighting effect is, how it works, how it's used, and so forth. And it also helps you set up the CV value so that you can get the lighting effect desired for you. There's also a section on setting up the sounds, selecting the proper sounds, and also setting up how those sounds perform and behave so that you can get the decoder to match to you. Now, the last section I want to reference is what's known as the troubleshooting section. Now, this section here is going to be very handy. There's a series of questions as far as what type of scenarios that we've seen and help guide you to find out what the culprit is. But most importantly, we still get a lot of calls from people asking, what is the flashing light, or why are my lights flashing? What does that mean? Well, if you go to the troubleshooting section, there's a whole section on error codes. The decoder is running diagnostic tests as it's operating in your locomotive. And if it encounters an error, it will start flashing the lights a dedicated number of times. And this is the way it tells you, hey, we've got a problem here, you need to fix that. For example, one of the error codes would be a 12 flash. Now, 12 flashes is indicating an overcurrent situation. And this overcurrent situation is saying that the motor's drawing more current than what the decoder's rated for. So it shuts down, it starts flashing the lights as a way to say, hey, you need to fix this before something goes wrong. This is just one of many ways that SoundTraxx has given you the tools to be able to find out what the problem is before you smoke a decoder. Now, for more information, please be sure to read those user's guides. They are very helpful and they will help explain how the features work in the decoders throughout the entire process. And it'll give you English explanations as far as how they work. But if you do get stuck, we are here to help you. Give us a call or an email and we'll be happy to help. Call us at 970-259-0690. Extension 22 is getting Norman for under support. Or you can email at support@soundtraxx.com.